So here's the initial premise for your screening system. No valuable man invests into a stock he knows nothing about. My charming brethren, have you ever found yourself courting a potential partner? I use the term courting now because traditional values are based. Anyway, have you ever found yourself courting a potential partner and finding yourself making that transition to suggest a potential physical meetup? And you're struck suddenly with the idea of what one should propose in this context. Now, if you are an intelligent man, you will propose something very low investment on your behalf and also on her behalf. I'll explain a little bit more about this in just a moment. Your low investment proposal might be something like, let's go and get a coffee, right? Very low investment. But some of us are now receiving the response, I hate coffee dates. They mean low effort. Or at least this is what the Polaris Borealis, nice play on words there, is suggesting here in this particular post on the online dating world. So as always, gentlemen, let's go through this all together and give our empathy and attention for our particular fellow brethren here, because I really believe that these stories here are so integral to the way that we conduct and obligate our way through life. And I'm going to give you a system towards the latter end of the video, which gives you clear disqualifying process to allow you to find those high quality women and snuff out the lower tier women. So wait, what? When did this trend of hating coffee dates start? I've been single for 2 years now, but only downloaded online dating apps over 2 weeks ago. Good luck, brother. And now I see it on TikTok. I already see the problem here. And sometimes on here as well, that coffee dates are asking for the minimum. I can't help but wonder if I woke up in a post-apocalyptic dating world. I'm sure a lot of the fellow brothers in here would not disagree. Personally, I love coffee dates. They are simple, casual, and easy to get out of in case it doesn't go too well. Coffee dates have so much potential. You can spend as much time with each other as you want. You can go for a walk and explore the city, etc. I do not want to get all dolled up to go to a fancy restaurant to meet somebody for the first time. What if I want to get out of the date? It would be awkward. I would only suggest a fancy date once I actually want this man to see me in full glam. I'm now just realizing that this is a woman, but perhaps her persuasion is that of the opposite sense because it feels like she's speaking from a male perspective. Anywho, other than that, a coffee date it is. Is that zero effort? I wouldn't call it zero. I think simplicity, efficiency, and no strings attached before they need to be. Also, please don't take any dating advice from TikTok. I concur. Some people seem to think that because of the way that they were able to secure a partner, that's the rule for everyone else they need to follow. You will be burned. Okay, now, if you're a rational thinking man, I think you'll concur with most of the points in this particular post, irrespective of or not if it was a woman or a man who wrote this. With particular sensitivity to the simplicity and the efficiency of the particular the proposal of the first time you're meeting in the physical realm. However, as I prefaced, as a man, it's so important we don't reward low value behavior such as the one this individual is suggesting here. We need to have a clear disqualifying system to actually find out whether or not we are going to have conviction in mating selection. So gentlemen, I wanted to reintroduce you into some of my systems. If you have been following me for a while, you know I'm a big fan of systems and you know how the synthesis of those systems get the outcomes that we want. So we have our outcome here, right? High value partner in the female sense, of course, if you're a man or you know whatever your particular sexual persuasion is. And the outcome, one of the outcomes is we need to have disqualifying symptoms in the individuals that we are screening, because that's what you're doing when you're dating, you're screening. And I would remind you, men, that's what you're doing when you're going about this courting process. So there are three main systems, or what would you say, symptoms of low value partners. The first one is value ignorance. So your prospect shows no understanding, empathy, or respect for your assets. So your assets in terms of your monetary assets, your energetic assets, and your time assets. If you find an individual is not showing any sensitivity towards these three, then I would immediately put these in the disqualifying category and there would be no further talking. The second one is low courtship IQ. Low courtship IQ. You might include social skills in general in this area, but the prospect has a poor understanding of how high value men determine female value. So typically these women, such as the post is alluding to, believe men determine value solely on looks. That is the number one discriminating factor she perceives, or this individual perceives, that men use in order to determine value. Now, this is more significant in hookups, but not nearly valuable enough in a relationship proposition. What do I mean by that? I mean that most men, unfortunately, are governed by their limbic system. And in the case of sexual intercourse, typically the only value they look for is the former. However, in dating context, that is just one factor in order for a relationship proposition to happen. We look for things like good communication skills, of course. We also look for empathy. We look for nurturing capabilities. We look for compassion. We look for kindness. These are all things that are going to start contributing more value to the prospect of us giving a relationship proposal in the end. Unfortunately, many women naively believe that just because a man is willing to sleep with you, he is also willing to enter in a long-term relationship with you, which couldn't even nearly be true. I mean, why do so many men regret one-night stands? Anyway, we're digressing here. I really wanted to get into this third system here, which is your screening system. So here's the initial premise for your screening system. No valuable man invests into a stock he knows nothing about. Competent men will be conservative with their time, with their energy, with their money until a prospect has demonstrated relationship value. So you see how this is all tying in. Until a man actually gets evidence of the kind of value he's looking for in a relationship proposition, he will keep his assets very, very close to the chest if he's competent. And you men need to be competent. So these kind of proposal here are very low investment propositions. Coffee dates, yes. Park walks. I think in the post it was suggested park walks. Public museums as well. These are all context in which you can start to ascertain the demonstration of value from the other individual in terms of a potential relationship without compromising your assets. Because here's the thing, women may interpret any more than this as the following: that the individual has a low IQ, that they're sexually desperate, that there's an opportunity here to exploit the individual's resources, or that you're kind of forcing her into an obligatory sexual transaction if you show too heavily investment first and foremost. So just to kind of simplify this so everyone's following, if the first time you're meeting physically, you're taking her out to a 5-star restaurant, hotel, these are the following outcomes that you're going to incur. Decreased respect, ultimately, because of these, and exploitation. So it's really a lose-lose all over in this respect. The best thing you can do, again, is just recognize this first initial premise that no man invests into a stock he knows nothing about. Gentlemen, these are not theories, these are facts. Keep your cards and your assets close to the chest until your partner, potential partner, has demonstrated and shown evidence of value in terms of relationship context, and then you can start to be a little bit more generous with your time, your energy, and your financial assets. Take care.